What up, y'all? This is your host. Welcome back to the Momster Podcast. It's Monday. At least I hope you're listening to this on a Monday. But yeah, Momster Monday. What up? So I hope you guys have gotten a chance to go over to the website, themomsterpodcast.com, and look at my latest blog. If you haven't done that, I'm actually going to be continuing the conversation from the blog. So if you need to, maybe take a pause, maybe not. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to keep with the bouncing ball here. But just to recap it, I guess, I the blog is called The Pain of Growth. And in it, I talk about how the in the younger years, our growth pain comes from us physically growing, right? Like we're little bodies sometimes growing through these spurts. And in the very beginning of the blog, I describe a memory of my sister going through her growth spurt pains, and it was not fun for her. It was not fun watching her have these growth spurt pains. And um my mom would just always be there by her side to try to alleviate the pains that she was feeling. And I never really understood the pain because I never felt it. I never I've never associated pain with growing until I was an adult. And when I experienced the pain of growth and why I decided to write the blog in the first place is because the the mere fact that you're trying to grow into somebody different, or should I say like evolving, there's just so much pain that you go through because you're changing, evolving, and shifting and moving into something else. Like your energy is just changing. It's different. And your your body and your brain all of a sudden are no longer in sync. And I would even go on to say your body, your brain, and your soul are not in sync. And I think that's the problem. I think that's my problem because when I set out to try to achieve certain goals, I can safely say that some of them are achievable because all of those three things are aligned, right? Mind, body, soul. They're It's just like, let's do it. Gung ho, no problem. But when one of those is out of line, or I'm gonna say like when one of those is stuck in a different gear, then we're not moving together, right? Like the coherence of growth is not there. And that's when I have been experiencing those growth pains where I just it's hard. It's a difficult area, or it almost seems like so many obstacles are getting in the way. And that restart button, it's getting hit way too many times because the stumbling towards the ultimate achieved goal keeps having to be restarted. Things get in the way, or old habits come back, or just this thought of like, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't believe in myself. Fuck it. All of those things just keep coming back. And I write in here, let me actually read from it. So in the blog, I say, I teach adult learners how to set goals and how their minds work to stop them from achieving their education. I show them how to navigate those limiting beliefs about their capability of achieving their education. I show them how to rewrite their story and take control of their destiny. They are capable, worthy, and smart enough to achieve their goals. Yet I'm 32 years old and I'm fighting against myself every day. The older I get, the harder it gets to love myself, find myself, look at myself. And yes, you read that correctly. I said look at myself. It's funny to say that I avoid the bathroom, but I only go in there, do my thing, and then I leave. Interestingly enough, in my younger years, you'd catch me in the bathroom taking selfies and looking at myself all the time. Now I avoid it like the Black Plague. My bathroom has a mirror that takes up an entire wall. It shows you who you are and what you look like from head to half thigh, maybe more than half thigh. I don't like facing the reality of the mirror or the things that make me vulnerable. The thing is that I once upon a time didn't look like this. And to those that plan to tell me that I'm beautiful in any shape, I know that's not the issue. There has been times where I was plump and curvy, but not this big, you know? I've also had times that I was thin, like single digits and dress size thin. So looking in the mirror is a reminder of the things I'm not doing. Worst of all, the thing that I do to myself on a daily basis, because I'm very aware that decisions that I have made have gotten me to where I am today. I'm not ignorant to those things. I'm actually hyper aware of it. I recently had a friend over and she commented on the sign in the bathroom that says stay consistent. Knowing what I know now about the brain and how it functions, I'm convinced that my brain is living out this statement. It's it's being consistent in the best way no in the best way it knows how. Consistently eating the worst meals, consistently putting itself last, consistently driving towards success and burning out. Shall I go on? My thoughts change the sign ASAP, or at least tell my brain what I want to be consistently doing. So, just a small part of the blog that I just read to y'all, but it goes on to talk about my placement of my affirmations. So, highly recommend you go take a look at the blog post because it's funny. But you know how the end of the year is coming. The end of the year is coming and the beginning of a new year is approaching. And with that, people like to set new goals. People like to live by a word. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. People like to start planning what 2024 is going to look like, or 2023, sorry, 2023. Um, and I was thinking about it and I'm like, what am I going to do? What are the things that I want to accomplish next year? And um, I had found myself just strolling through the Instagram and TikTok way too much. So I deleted TikTok from my phone because it just was a bad habit. And thinking about my blog post, thinking about like what word am I thinking of? Like consistently, I've been consistent in doing the things that are not serving me. What is it that I want to change that mindset? Because it's true, like whatever you put in front of you the most is what your brain is going to be looking towards the most, right? So my thought is to journal. My thought is to like figure it out, journal, write about it until I figure it out. Because if I do things on a whim, like I typically do, number one, it has come to be proven that it doesn't work doing things on a whim. Number two, I've I have a dear friend of mine. Her name is Amy Ibarra, and she's freaking amazing. One of the things that I love about about her and like talking to her is that I typically have like an hour with her, and she will ask me, what do you want to talk about? What are you trying to get at? How can I help you? And we end up starting with like one very surface topic, and we just dig and dig and dig and dig. And at the end, it ends up being this like rooted problem from childhood that is keeping me stuck. Like, with the last time that I talked to her, I wanted to like change careers. Well, not really change careers. I sort of, but not. I almost wanted to like quit my job and yeah, quit my job. And we dug, and it ended up being this situation. We were able to pinpoint a situation that triggered me to the point where I was now thinking that I wasn't good enough for my job, that I wasn't where I should be. And once we came to that conclusion and realized that, hey, like it's not that you want to quit your job, it's just that somebody made you feel this way and therefore you wanted to quit your job. Um, Once we realized that, and she asked me a series of questions, and I was like, okay, like it's not my job. Like it was just me. It's how I took the situation. And if I would not have had that conversation with her, if I would have acted on impulse like I typically do, I would have quit my job and I would be doing, whatever else I would be doing. And sometimes your life comes at this crossroads of decisions that you have to make. And I don't know, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to see it, sometimes the decision from those crossroads that you have to make have multiple outcomes, multiple outcomes. And I want to be in a space where whatever the outcome ends up being, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I've thought it through, because whatever the choices whatever the choices that I make, I'm just happy with it. And kind of like backtracking back to the blog, um backtracking back to it, I want to one of the quotes that I put on here. Sorry, I have to like open my phone. I say in here, I'm 32 years old and I'm fighting against myself every day. Which, by the way, there's an error there because I'm 33, not 32. Shout out to my sister who brought that up and let me know because she read the blog. Um, so in essence, I'm 33 years old and I'm fighting against myself every day. I'm fighting against myself every day because I'm not happy with the decisions that I've made up until now. And I think it starts with the decisions you make on a daily basis that give you the emotions that you experience on a daily basis, because those result in moods, which result in just the way you feel, period. Right. So, or the way you see life. And I keep coming back to this quote that I don't know who it is, but I've heard it multiple times. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you know this quote, please let me know who the original person is I need to be quoting here, but um I think it starts from within. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How I treat myself is how I treat others. And um y'all know, and if you don't, well, I guess here it goes. Y'all know that Brene Brown is one of my um favorite authors, and I can't remember which book it is, so I'm sorry about this, but she goes on to ask, if you don't have the correct love for yourself, can you truly love your children and your husband or your wife, your significant other? And when I came across this part of one of her books, I was like, whoa, like this is pretty powerful, because if I keep treating myself like shit, which is not waking up on time or hitting the snooze button, um, not drinking enough water, not getting enough movement in, right? Like not putting the right foods in my mouth, not not taking care of myself. If I keep going down this line, then in essence, I'm mistreating my kids as well. Right? Like that's what she's talking about, at least. Um and as my podcast is called, the Momster Podcast, like no wonder there are these feelings of just being irritated, overwhelmed, overstimulated, because I'm just not taking care of the things that I need to be taken care of. And as much as I can get into the routine of, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go on a walk. Like I did this for 2 weeks straight ish, right? I don't even know what the hell happened. And I just kept sleeping in, right? So this is what I'm talking about, having that internal fight of like not choosing myself first. And it's so damn hard to choose myself first because I didn't see it growing up. Like I never saw my mom take care of herself. That wasn't a thing. Like the person or the people that taught me that you need to go get your eyebrows done, you need to go get your nails done, you need to go get a pedicure, you need to go do your hair, like that stuff, the people that taught me that stuff were coworkers and classmates. It wasn't my mom, right? So now that I'm a mom, you know how you replay your parents, right? Like I'm sitting here going, okay, like I should quote unquote take care of myself. What does that look like? And obviously, I think I've come a long way. Like if my mom were to look at my life, she would probably tell me that she's proud of me, but I almost don't want her to. Like I don't want anybody telling me that they're proud of me, because it's just not the truth, not the reality, not something that my ears need to be hearing, because then I'm gonna go, oh, people are proud of me. Let me just like stop doing the fuck what I need to be doing. And I actually want y'all to be disappointed in me, because if you're disappointed in me, then it takes me to a place that I want to fucking hustle to get the fucking shit right. The fucking shit is like like me, right? Like I'm so fucking tired, but at the same time like am I really tired, because I obviously keep doing the same shit over and over again. Um like what does rock bottom look for me, and do I even want to fucking go there? Because it feels like rock bottom already, and I'm continuously fighting myself because I have the urge, I have the habits in place to be a fucking what I am right now, and I don't want to be that person anymore. But when I try, when I think I'm doing the things that I need to be doing, I wish I could pinpoint the times, the periods, the situations, the words, the emotions, whatever the fuck it is that makes me stop, I wish I could pinpoint it. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Like before I put anything else on that fucking board, number one, maybe I just need to take it down. But before I replace it with before I replace be consistent with anything else, it's like I just need to figure out where the fuck I keep going wrong. Like, where is it that I keep turning around back to this? Right. And I say it in my blog, like, I'm not asking y'all, or I don't want anybody to come back at me and be like, oh, but you're so pretty. Bitch, I know. Okay. Like, I motherfucking know. That's not the issue here. Um, the issue is like, the issue is just like the amount of energy that I want to have, the 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 body that I want to have, and I don't mean that in this like vain fucking way. Like I'm not trying to have some like Kim Kardashian body, okay? Let me just say that straight out. Like that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to just have something that resembles someone that loves themselves and someone that can do all the things that they want to do. Because the last time I went to motherfucking Six Flags, your girl could barely fit in the motherfucking seats of the roller coaster, okay? Like it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. Um, I remember the motherfucking roller coaster things, like, you know, they go over your fucking body and they click you in. They're like, "Tick, tick, 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 tick," right? And then you have a little belt that goes across. Okay, that motherfucking didn't go. It went. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I was like, I know my breasts aren't that big. Okay. Like, it's just, it's like my entire body that's getting in the way. It's not just my boobs, which is, it's not a vibe, you guys. It's just, it's not, you know, um, not when, not when like the experience has been otherwise, right? Like, I keep thinking, like, well, what if I would have just been this big, this size my entire life? I wouldn't know anything else, right? But the truth of the matter is, and the facts are, that this has been the biggest I've ever been in my life, period. And it wasn't that long ago that I was living my best life at 150. Okay. Um, and I know what has transpired to get me to where I am now. And you got to walk the journey. You got to live the fucking moments. You have to like you I have lived it. I have gone through the pains, the hurts, the love, the laughter, the everything of life to be where I am right now. And I can safely say that I'm a lot better the person I am now than I was a year ago on like a mental situation, right? Like a mental state a lot better to the point where I'm, in my opinion, I laugh more, right? I think there's still times, and as the kids get older, like I just have to keep facing scenario situations that can happen and you know deal with it and whatnot. But as 2023 comes around, I want to take now up until December, you know, I want to take the steps necessary to be able to pinpoint the things that make me break, the things that make me go back, the feelings, emotions, circumstances, experiences that make me that make me what is this word that I'm thinking of that make me give up. And I know that our brains are wired to release or not release. Our brains are wired to save as much energy as possible. That's why habits are formed. I know that. But the habits I've been playing on replay, repeat, these habits, I don't want them anymore. Don't want them, don't need them. I would like to go back to being a happier version of me in a more petite body so that I can do the things I want to do. Right? Like, I want to stop fighting against myself and I want to start just fucking living and being happy. Right? So, yeah, back to the drawing board I go. Um, I think it's going to take a lot of meditation and thinking and what are those standards that I want to live by? You know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. What does that mean to me? What do I want it to look like? What do I want to embody? What are the things that I want my kids to catch, learn by sheer osmosis, right? Like, what do I want them when they're older and they look back at mom? What are those things that I want them to think of? Because when I close my eyes and think of my dad, for example, hard worker, hardworking man. And the story that comes to mind is like my dad, my dad had to get his appendix removed once upon a time. And we were very young, very young. We were school age, but we were still young. And my dad had been having this pain in his abdomen. And he finally just got sent home from work because he just didn't look good. He didn't look good. He wasn't performing his job. And he worked outside construction, hard labor. And my mom finally took him into the hospital because she was like, yeah, you don't look good. And lo and behold, his appendix was about to burst. He needed emergency surgery right away. And till this day, that is like the like hard work. That is what is ingrained inside my brain. You fucking work your ass off. You go to work when you have a cold. You go to work when you are sick with the flu. You go to work when your appendix is about to explode. Like, you are a hard working fucking bitch. Like, those are the things that I think I need to embody because I've seen my dad do it. And in my mind, I'm like, I need to fucking be working hard. I need to like prove something to somebody. And one of the things about working from home now is like this switch has been like turned the fuck on to like a higher degree because I almost feel like I cannot put anybody down or I can't people cannot for any circumstance think that I've let my foot off the pedal. Like, no, like this is when you push even harder because nobody's watching, right? But as I ride this hardworking roller coaster belief, I can't help but sit back and go, wait, this isn't aligning with who I am, though. Like, my kids need me. How how have I like pushed harder at work and you know what I mean? Like no, like mom's working from home now. I should be able to go like, you know what? I've worked this hard. I've worked this hard to deserve working from home and to be able to, yes, still do my work, still do the shit I need to be doing, but also on my hour lunch, because I get an hour lunch, on an hour lunch, like go snuggle with my motherfucking kids. Like that's what I want to be doing. But it's hard to balance that when you've never seen it done before. Like and by the way, if anybody's out there and you've done it, like fucking call me please. We need to be friends. We need to be talking. Because that shit's fucking hard. Like I don't know how to let that pedal go. That hardworking shit. Like I don't know how to ease off the pedal without feeling like I'm gonna fucking crash. Right. Um Now when I think of my mom, when I think of my mom, I actually have this memory of my mom just always being so nice to certain family members. And from the stories that she has shared, like these family members didn't even deserve it. They didn't deserve her kindness. And I don't know why, but I don't want to embody that. Like I'm actually the opposite. Like if you don't want to be nice to me, then I'm not going to be nice to you back. I'm playing this fucking game. Like that's probably why again my podcast is called the Momster Podcast because I'm just a fucking monster sometimes. But um my mom was also a hardworking lady. Not as much as my dad, but I think my dad had a lot more on his shoulders than my mom did. She definitely raised us pretty decent. We've made it this far. But I think I need to like revisit what do I envision my life being? What do I want those values to be? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I do, but I currently don't. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just know that I know how the brain works in a way. I know that my brain, in order to break habits, needs to know the cue. I know that in order to create the habits, I need continual reminder. So I think I'm going to be using my phone a lot as alarms to keep myself on track. Um, I think there needs to be a lot of quiet internal journaling time just to really understand like what's happening up here that's making me derail the moments that I do derail. And I really need to define this quote of how you do one thing is how you do everything. How is it that I want to be doing things? Because some people do things through love. Some people do everything through love. Some people do everything through hard work. Some people do everything through, I just have to choose my energy, you know? So yeah, that's what I'll be doing on the Momster podcast. So be on the lookout because I want to be doing this with you guys. So, just like I did this episode, it started off on my blog and then the conversation continued here. I'm going to be doing that for the rest of the year. Maybe I'll do it for forever. Don't know. But writing is one of my passions, journaling, not necessarily writing cuz I'll tell you right now, if y'all go in there and you're an English major and you see some mistakes, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not perfect at writing. I just am really good at being able to sit there and journal and just let my brain take over. And so I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that. Come on this journey with me. All right. Don't forget to like the episode, rate the episode. Let me know how many stars this episode gives for you. Um, don't forget to go share the episode as well. And I'll catch you next Monday. Thanks, y'all.